What up, guys, gals, and my non-binary pals? It's Liam answering your February question of the month. This month's question is, does being undetectable relinquish the responsibility to disclose your status to others? Now, right off the bat, I believe your medical information is private and it's for you to share. I don't think you have a responsibility to tell anybody any private information when it comes to your health and well-being. Now, as far as being undetectable living with HIV, if you know, being undetectable means it is untransmittable. There's not enough copies of the virus in your system that you'll be able to pass on to another person. Now, when we talk about disclosing our status, I feel like there are two sections, right? We have the people in our lives that we are not intimate with, the people we don't have sex with, and then there are people who we are looking to be intimate with or are having sex with, right? So for me, when I was diagnosed with HIV, for the first 3 years, I didn't tell anybody except two people, my two very best friends. And during that time, I was still having sex. After 2 months, I was undetectable, so when I was having sex, I wasn't putting anybody at risk. But these people that I were having sex with were not having conversations about safe sex. There was no condoms, there was no talk of PrEP, and the questions weren't asked to me. Now, in that moment, I didn't know how to verbalize anything about safe sex, and I was still feeling ashamed of my status, but I knew that I wouldn't be passing it on to this person. So I wouldn't disclose my status. And I see that as a matter of safety and a way to protect yourself. Because you don't know what that person could do to you in that moment, or dox you, or go online and talk about you. So I think disclosing your status is something that you have to do with people that you really trust, people that you love or are pursuing a relationship with. And I think it's for you to decide who to disclose to or be open to the world about your status. So I believe the conversation with the responsibility of disclosing is very situational, you know? So I think the biggest takeaway is that the folks who don't disclose their status when we go into sexual relationships or things like that is a sense of safety or survival. But as far as non-sexual relationships, you can go your whole life without telling anybody. You're undetectable, there's no possibility of passing on the virus to anybody unless you stop taking your medication, of course. But again, that is your own private information. And I think this question will be answered differently by everyone. And I think we have a responsibility as people with HIV to protect others, to stop this virus. And until the stigma surrounding HIV and the violence that people living with HIV who disclose to people face, until that stigma is gone, people will hold on to their status and they won't tell anybody. I think it's all about education and learning that people who are undetectable and on medication can't transmit this virus. I think it will be easier for people to disclose their status. But at the end of the day, right now, it is not anybody's responsibility to disclose their status to anyone.